Hello and welcome to Rev Sports, where we will talk about India's opening against USA in the T20 World Cup. First, we have some breaking news here. ICC and PCB are in dialogue, and ICC has revealed details of the communication. We will now report on what really went down between the two boards here. PCB obviously invoked its force majeure clause, said that citing government instructions, they would not be able to play the February 15th game against India in Colombo. But after that, ICC has stated that it has kept its dialogue channels open. Boria, can you give us the details on what's really going on with this entire debacle? At this point, do you think that there is a possibility of a Pakistan making a U-turn when it comes to the boycott?
Yeah, I mean, the green flag has now kind of become pretty real. Devashish joins us, Ashok Bharat. I've been speaking to sources within the ICC. From what I understand, this is what's happening. For the longest time, Pakistan did not reach out to the ICC. Finally, they did. That was step number one. The first step was only a three-line letter, or I was told a four-line letter, which said, "We are not playing, force majeure, government tweet, job done." The ICC responded to that, detailed response saying, under these clauses, you cannot invoke the force majeure. You can, basis this, if you are trying to do a selective force, boycott of this particular game, your position doesn't hold. There will be commercial, legal, and other implications of this particular stand. And that was explained to the Pakistan board in crystal clear terms by the ICC's legal team, and a detailed communication was sent to the Pakistan Cricket Board. After receiving that, and do not forget, on the other side, the Sri Lankan board has also written to the Pakistan Cricket Board. So the ICC sent the detailed communication which listed out why it cannot invoke force majeure, why there will be monetary, commercial, legal implications for the PCB, basis which the PCB has now reached out to the ICC wanting dialogue. That's the latest that we are getting. So, if you are wanting dialogue, it is a clear case of moving away from that hard stand that we are not going to play. There is an official boycott in place. The government has said that. Now that you are on the dialogue table, on the negotiating table with the ICC, it seems very clearly, and the sources that I'm talking about tell me that this is the opening that people were waiting for. Pakistan wants to come to the negotiating table, realizing that their position was weak, their position could have costed them dear. That's the development that we are getting at the moment. We've got the detailed pointers as to basis which the ICC has been communicating with Pakistan. We have to see where this matter goes. But if you ask me now, 6:01 on the 7th of February, things are much better compared to what it was earlier in the day. Am I seeing a game possible? I am. Am I seeing an opening that could result in the match happening on the 15th of February? I am. So that's the latest development.
Ashok, we're already seeing that Pakistan has made a turn from its very hard stance of boycotting this game. Obviously, the PM chimed in, and once a prime minister sort of speaks about issues like these, you know that it's going to be a hard stance. But already there has been some melting down when it comes to Pakistan's stance over this. And I will read out one of the paragraphs from the details that we have here. PCB has invoked force majeure, citing the government instructions it has received to not take the field versus India on February 15 without any further questions, explanation, or justification. The ICC responded with queries linked to the force majeure clause in the terms of participation and asked PCB to demonstrate what it had done to mitigate the force majeure. How are you looking at this entire scenario, Ashok, from here on? I think PCB may have realized that they do not have enough credible reasons to boycott and also sort of avoid the sanctions that come with it.
Yes, Gargi. I think it's quite amazing, isn't it, that we are 1.5 matches into the T20 World Cup tournament, and the amount of drama seems to have scaled up so much. And true to its style, Pakistan, with 60 minutes to go for the first India versus USA match, opens up a channel for communication. I think it was high time that this happened. At the stakes are so high at this level that you cannot maneuver yourself into a space where you do not have elbow room to negotiate. This is a point that I've been making right from the beginning. I think Bangladesh went through the same situation. Pakistan got themselves into a corner. There are many implications of this. One, of course, is the financial implication, which is a direct implication. The second is what happens to the future of cricket in your own country. What happens to the PSL? What happens to the ICC contribution of money that you get? Are you running the cricket ecosystem into the ground in your country? The third, and to my mind, that's the most important one, which is that, with a move like this, Pakistan stands the danger of getting ostracized, not just by India, but by other countries, because the associate nations are going to be losing out because of this proposition. So, one, it was high time that they get into a dialogue. Two, I think it's a welcome thing that's happened in terms of opening up a channel of communication. The fact that ICC is now talking about force majeure and what the terms surrounding it is a positive development, which indicates that a U-turn is very, very possible.
Before I go to Bharat and Debashish, Boria, another very important point here in the information that we've received, there is a line that says the ICC, in its detailed communication, also highlighted the potential damages that the ICC could claim from PCB. This is stern language. This is stern language.
100%. And if you read that entire communication, which is long, by the way, you will understand that the ICC is on very firm ground. The ICC has done its legal work. The ICC knows what it's talking about. The ICC has done its base work. It knows it has the PCB on a wet wicket. It knows there are legal implications. It knows it can impose financial penalties. Plus, what it hasn't listed down is it has soft channel diplomacy open, so it can stifle the PSL. You must understand Pakistan's income. Pakistan's income is that 35 odd million dollars from the ICC that constitutes 45% of its entire income. So 45% to 50% of its entire income comes from the ICC. Another 50% from PSL and others. Now, if you're talking about 45% from the ICC, which can be stifled, so you're talking about a loss of 45%, you are left with a 55%. Even that can be stifled because PSL can be stifled. So you are in a whole set of 100, 45% is direct ICC support, can be stifled. 55% is what you are left with, of which a major chunk is PSL. ICC can stifle PSL by not giving NOCs. Now that's soft channel, back channel diplomacy. That will not be spelled out. These things happen. We know these things can happen, will happen. So the communication, if you read between the lines, the PCB has been told in the sternest of ways, there's no force majeure. You cannot get away. You cannot just get away by invoking this selectively. 5.7.1 has multiple interpretations. They find themselves in a corner. If they did not, they would have held firm. They would never have wanted to initiate dialogue and come to the negotiating table with the ICC.
Bharat, in the details as well, in the points that we've gotten, ICC has multiple times reiterated that it is focusing on the fairness of the game, that it gives priority to fan experience, to fan welfare, and of course has to also uphold the fairness of the tournament. What are your thoughts about ICC's position? They've made it pretty clear where they stand. Where do you think Pakistan? What path do they take from here?
Yeah, if you look at it from a legal framework, they seem to be on strong ground. That is what I can say. If a particular board is coming down to the negotiation table, that itself tells you that Pakistan themselves perhaps are softening their stand. Maybe this just got feel that they want the match to go ahead, because otherwise you wouldn't come down to the negotiation table, because they understand the financial implications. They perhaps understand that ICC can stifle in terms of your revenue that you're going to get, in terms of the PSL as well. If you don't get the foreign players, that itself, PSL also, they won't get the revenue from PSL as well. Just that it's a bit of an embarrassment for Pakistan if they now go ahead with a match against India, because your Prime Minister, as himself said, that too publicly said, that also reiterated the fact that your not going to play this match, you're going to boycott this match. And now, if you're going to do a U-turn, then it's going to be a complete embarrassment from Pakistan's. If you look at it from Pakistan's side of things, that's the only thing that may still hold or still ensure that Pakistan won't play this game, because it comes down to the ego of the prime minister. Otherwise, if you're coming down to the negotiation table, logically, even if you look at it from a diplomatic sense, then definitely that particular board is softening its stand. So I think ICC is pretty much on a strong wicket here.
Atul is saying, stop being desperate for 15th February match. You people look cringe. We are journalists. Our job is to report on what is going on, and we are reporting. How does that make anyone cringe? I don't understand. What makes anyone cringe is dropping hate comments on people who are just doing their jobs. Devashish, I will go over to you now. This is, repeatedly throughout the past 6 to 7 months, we've seen that PCB, Pakistan, has put themselves in situations where their institutional and national dignity is on the line. Right now, they've got two options: get embarrassed by boycotting this match, or get embarrassed by facing India and then getting hammered by them. What do they choose?
I think the only reason for Pakistan seeking a dialogue is that they have definitely taken a legal opinion. They could have not started a dialogue, but at least shown an interest of starting a dialogue until and unless they got a legal opinion. Now that they have understood that if they had not gone ahead and played the match against India on 15th February, the consequences thereon would be severe. Means obviously, and clearly, it is looking like that the Pak Prime Minister is looking like a joker here. I would say, means obviously making a comment, making an outright statement, and now obviously, if Pakistan Cricket Board do play the match against India, then what will happen? Means obviously, and with Pakistan cricket, the legendary Sunil Gavaskar has also said that you wait for the 11th hour. 11th hour with Pakistan Cricket Board, you have to wait till the 11th hour, and that is where it is heading. Means obviously they have definitely taken the legal opinions, and now they have started realizing no, it's better off to go and play the match in Colombo with India. There's no point means in confrontation with ICC or the BCCI, because their case doesn't stand with that force majeure. It does not even stand when you have selectively choose a match. Obviously, had Pakistan not traveled to Colombo, had Pakistan boycotted the entire tournament with government's instruction, things would have been different. Means obviously, but in this case, that doesn't even stand. Be it a clause 12 or be it a clause 5.7.1, nothing will stand as far as members' participation agreement is concerned. So in this case, better sense prevail. At least Pakistan Cricket Board has wished, had started,
Right.
and has given up the indication that they are going to start the dialogue.
All right. Boria, I think one thing to take notice of here is the fact that when government of Pakistan made that tweet, ICC was very quick in releasing that statement. And if ICC hadn't done that in those moments, I think this wouldn't have happened. This is a cascading effect.
See, Pakistan also did not respond after that. So everybody, and Devashish is right in two things. Both sides have consulted legal opinion. The moment Pakistan government put out that tweet, ICC responded with a press release stating that this is not good for global cricket. They urged PCB to reconsider. Even the points that we've been told multiple times state that the ICC is acting like a governance body. It wants dialogue. It doesn't want confrontation. It wants PCB to speak. It wants to solve the crisis. That's the whole point, the ICC is trying to do. So clearly, the way ICC is going about it is, while they are being stern, they are being dignified and polite. They are being stern, yes, firm, yes, but dignified and polite at the same time. And clearly, they have consulted multiple legal opinion. Otherwise, in responding to the PCB's formal communication of force majeure, the ICC would not have come back like a rocket to the PCB with all the details saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, here's what you stand to lose. Commercially, politically, legally, we can impose all of this. So you can find yourself in a corner. That's what. Clearly, the PCB is rattled by that legal response. And they too have mulled legal opinion. Oh, you know what? This can happen. And if this does happen, Pakistan cricket stands to lose out. Not just Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all these other countries. India, no. India doesn't need this money. So Pakistan's allies, Bangladesh, for example, will lose out by this action. So the cascading effect is that the PCB will not just lose out alone, but will lose out with its allies. And the ICC has made that point. I think the ICC is smart. They're playing it smart. The PCB is seeing the writing on the wall. If things are followed through, if the Bangladesh elections go the BNP way, which is likely with Awami League supporting, do not forget that election is 4 days away. If the Jamaat loses that, Pakistan loses steam also there. So all of this geopolitics tells me this one will go down to the wire. So when we all of us land up in Colombo, on the 12th or the 13th, we will still see the drama continuing. And Devashish very rightly said, he used the word joker and all of us started laughing. But the truth is, this is intense drama.
Ashok, the other thing, another paragraph I'd like to read out from this is at the very end. At every stage, ICC has acted in interest of the sport, players and fans through neutrality, legal clarity, and sustained dialogue, ensuring that the interest of the cricket ecosystem remains at the center of the decision making. Your thoughts about this? Because a lot of people, were acting out of emotion, were saying that this is ICC's time to take PCB down, to take Bangladesh down, but that's not the thing. Thing is, world cricket is at the center of all of this, not personal vendetta or anything of that sort.
Absolutely. I think the ICC has been very, very proactive on this matter, I would say. To be able to react means that they have thought this through, they have planned this through. Let me take first the point, we've been talking about the broadcaster interest, we've been talking about Pakistan's cricket ecosystem, we've been talking about the financial impact. But what about the fans? Who's talking about the fans and, the fact that fans would have already made travel plans, they would be already talking about going in and watching the India-Pakistan match. They would be looking at the schedule very minutely. To at the last minute to come and say that we are going to participate in the tournament, but you know what, we are not going to participate in the match versus India on the 15th of February, actually is letting the fans down in a significant manner. And, the precedence that this sets up going forward, that nations can then pick and choose, is completely ad hoc. And I think the ICC needs to rise up, maintain the credibility of the tournament, which is exactly what they're doing. And I think, that last paragraph that you just read out is in sync with a philosophy which is very, very welcome.
Bharat, Pakistan or PCB, let's say, will be able to somehow navigate this legal situation. But how does the Pakistan cricket team navigate India on the field?
That's an interesting question. Not too sure I have an answer for that, because the way India are playing, it would be a Herculean task for the Pakistan cricket team to come out on top. But maybe I'm just sitting here and thinking maybe the conditions in Colombo would be such that it would be slightly on the slower side, and that might give this small window of opportunity. That is, if Pakistan go on to play India, a small window of opportunity for Pakistan. In such conditions, if you pick a lot of spinners, if they can somehow win the toss, bat first, score about 150 runs, because I don't think this Pakistan team can chase down targets. If they win the toss, get about 150, 160, and then if they pick a lot of spinners, then they might just have a small window of opportunity to defeat India. But otherwise, on paper, India just look way too strong. The kind of balance they have in terms of their bowling, in terms of their batting, it's going to be an uphill task for the Pakistan team if that match goes ahead.
Devashish, India-Pakistan no longer a rivalry on the field? Off the field, of course.
After what happened in the game against Netherlands, do you think so? Is there any rivalry? And obviously, Surya Kumar Yadav in that Asia Cup did say that it's 7-0, 8-0 if I'm not wrong. So obviously, clearly, had it been 5-3 or say even 6-2, means obviously there could have been some competitiveness. But obviously, there is not a semblance of competitiveness when it comes to India-Pakistan rivalry. Means gone were those days when there was when the Wasim Akrams or the Imran Khans used to play. There was a bit of rivalry, but means that the recent times, absolutely it has been one-way traffic. And I just want to just add one point here. Just ISIS has been very consistent. Let us well, the fact that it has been very consistent when while handling the case involving Bangladesh Cricket Board as well. They have sent their representative to Dhaka. They have done multiple video conferencing. They have tried everything, every other option in requesting Bangladesh to reconsider its stance and come travel to India. But that was not the case. So in case of PCB as well, they has at least been consistent in obviously at one point in time they need to safeguard the integrity of the tournament. Means obviously you just can't randomly pick and choose the matches when you sign a members participation agreement, and all kudos to ICC for being consistent in handling both the cricket board, be it BCB and also the.
Moria, I will ask you this question, and it's a tough one because we've seen the global reportage. We've seen what many experts and pundits have said about the ICC, knowing that Jay Shah is heading it. It was said that ICC is basically Indian Cricket Council and all of those allegations that were made. But at this point, from what we've read so far, everything that has happened, ICC has acted very fairly, has kept fan welfare at the forefront, has kept world cricket at the forefront of every decision that they've taken.
You see, if you are an international governance body, you are a soft target and you are not going to respond to individuals. I mean, be it ICC, be it IOC, be it FIFA, be it the UN, be it anybody, be it the Security Council, be it NATO. So this is expected. And half of the opinions were kind of uneducated, ill-informed opinion based on trying to posture to the public gallery. So I would not take such opinions seriously. Take, for example, the Nasser Hussain opinion. Nasser is somebody, like I had tweeted, I have respect for Nasser. But to suggest that, oh, you know what, had it been India, would the ICC have done that? Now, the point is, India would never say this 1 month before a World Cup. India's stand against Pakistan has forever been consistent. Nasser should have known that. He's part of the whole broadcast scenario, he's part of world cricket. India's Pakistan stand doesn't depend on one individual decision, and within 4 weeks left for the World Cup, from nowhere would you say, oh, you know what, I'm not going to Pakistan. So India would not do that to the ICC, or for that matter, any other board. So to suggest what Nasser was, the fundamental premise of what he was suggesting was wrong. Now, there were many such examples that I can keep giving, but that's why I'm saying that the ICC need not respond to such individual opinion. And if you say ICC has done well, it doesn't mean that you become an ICC cheerleader. Frankly, none of us are. All of us, at least in my case, I will speak for myself. We all know that I've been critical of the BCCI and the ICC before, and there is no need for us to be laudatory if the ICC doesn't behave in a statesman-like manner. In this way, in this case at least, the ICC has not leaked information. Number one, the ICC has not played to the gallery. Number two, the ICC, for the longest time, people were saying, why are they being passive? There was no haphazard, quick fire response trying to woo the gallery. No. So in every sense, the ICC took its time, and now it has got the PCB to the negotiating table. I think that's a big victory on the part of the ICC to get Pakistan to come and negotiate, to get them to see the writing on the wall. That's step one. Will there be a U-turn? What that means for the Pakistan Prime Minister, what that means for the political class, what that means for all of that, I don't know. That's not my job to answer. All I will say is, like Bharat did, all of us will smile.
Ashok, what are your thoughts on this? Because a lot has been said about the ICC, a lot has been said about BCCI as well, and how they are lobbying in ICC. This was something that I've read multiple times throughout the past couple of weeks.
I'm going to build on what Boria said and say that sometimes I think in these matters we are actually beginning to become too harsh on ourselves. As Indians, we are. I think we are taking a stance there where we are being too harsh. At the end of the day, all the large sporting organizations, whether it's the IOC, is going to be headed by someone, right, from some country. The very fact that we have an Indian leading it is a matter of pride, and it's not something that we need to berate ourselves too much. The fact that we are doing well in world cricket, a couple of days ago we won the under 19 World Cup, and what a stunning match that was. Evoking reactions from cricketers all across the world. We are doing well in the world T20 stage as well. And therefore, it seems to be that India's time under the sun is here. India is doing well. The future looks bright. And there is going to be resistance. There is going to be scrutiny. But that doesn't mean that, we give in and we say that, oh, yes, there could be a potential issue here. But frankly, look at the positives. Look at the fact that the ICC is not acted in haste. The ICC's actually managed to coordinate with multiple stakeholders. There has been behind the scenes parlay that has happened. Otherwise, this conversation, this dialogue wouldn't have come to happen at this point of time. And also handled everything with a lot of restraint, I think speaks volumes of the way they've conducted themselves. And I think it's good for the game. It's good for the subcontinent. And I think we need to be proud of it. There is no point in beating ourselves up on such issues.
I'll quickly make a point and leave. What would you have wanted? Would you have wanted India to be Pakistan, not dominate? Would you want it to be in a position where you don't call the shots in world cricket? What do we want? We want our country to be dominant and not dominant. We want our country to have the financial power or not have the financial power. What is the problem? Why do you want to play the victim card? What is this issue with us? I don't understand this. I mean, if today India is dominating one sport in the world, have you not been to an Olympic Games? Have you not been to an Asian Games? Have you not been to a FIFA World Cup? You will see how Indians are treated. They're not even taken care of with seriousness, because in the IOC you will come 71st in the medals tally. Who the hell are you? You're nobody. You don't even win an Olympic gold medal. In a Paralympics, at least something. In the FIFA World Cup, who the hell are you from India, boss? You don't even figure. So in international sport, this is where India is. One sport where India calls the shots, and even there, Indians have a problem. I'm absolutely amazed at the kind of negativity that this country has. It is as if we did not do well in cricket, if we lost every day, that is what these people would have wanted at the BCCI level and at the performance level. Damn it, your under 19 is winning, your women are winning, your women under 19 are winning, your men's are the best team in the world. You earn, do you know the net worth of the BCCI? 19,000 crores. Do you know the net worth of the 8 other boards combined? 3,000 crores. 3,000. BCCI 18,000. Net other boards 3,000. Pakistan 400. Bangladesh 400. India 18,500. So that is the difference. You don't want that? I do. You call me a nationalist, you call me whatever mad person, I don't care. But this is what I want my India to be, a powerful nation that states terms to the world and stands on its own 2 feet.
100%. On that note, we'll let you go. But one last comment that I want to show you here. He's gone. Anyway, I'll take the comment anyway. You know how we say that India has a problem of plenty, that anytime there's a spot open, you don't know which one to choose. Where has it gone though? There it is. We also have a problem of plenty, because Sachin is saying, "Sare channel pe ek sath live mat karo." That's what it is. But unfortunately, in breaking news situations, we obviously all have to go live. I believe Bengali, Hindi, all our channels are live at the moment, talking and discussing about Pakistan and ICC and the communications between them. But let's now shift our attention to India versus USA. India's first game in the T20 World Cup. Unfortunately for India, they've already lost one player in Harshit Rana, who has been ruled out of the tournament due to a knee injury. Mohammad Siraj officially replaces him. We have also heard that Jasprit Bumrah right now is suffering from viral fever and may be unlikely to take the field tonight. Debashish, during all of this, do you think Mohammad Siraj is the one that comes into the playing 11, gets a straight pass? Oh, I believe Debashish is having issues with the audio. Bharat, why don't you take that question? Mohammad Siraj straight swap into the playing 11?
I think I have it on mute. Yeah. That's a bit difficult to say. Maybe India can even play Hardik Pandya as a second seamer, that is another way to go about the things. Sometimes they've done that. Hardik Pandya as one of the key seamers alongside Ashdeep Singh and Shivam Dubey as the third one, and then to pick three spinners. And yes, they can look at Mohammad Siraj. I don't know whether he would be kind of little bit tired or on those lines, whether they would want to risk him into this game. So that's interesting to note. But yes, Siraj can definitely come into the equation straight away because you would want to have one more experienced pace bowler. And you are playing at a stadium where you tend to get a little bit of movement as well up front. That is what you generally see at the Wankhede. You generally see a good pitch for batting, but at least in the first 3 overs, you see a little bit of nip off the wicket. So if the Indian selectors or the Indian think tank feel that there will be a little bit of nip of the wickets, then Siraj could definitely come into the equation.
Okay, Devashish, what are your thoughts when it comes to Mohammad Siraj? What do you think the bowling combination looks like for tonight? And tell us the conditions as well.
Yeah, obviously, let me just start with the atmosphere. It is electrifying to say the least. And I think it's only befitting to have the first match involving India at this venue, at this iconic venue. Means obviously, Wankhede and Indian cricket are synonymous. Obviously, we have seen, and obviously, as we speak, the inauguration ceremony has just ended, I think so, and we are just in time for the toss. But I since I'm outside, I'm not give a exact update whether Jasprit Bumrah is available or not because I'm out for almost a couple of hours now. But if it doesn't play, obviously it gives a perfect opportunity for Mohammad Siraj, and obviously no better than to try him out straight away because suppose if there's an injury issue, God forbid that doesn't happen, then you have someone who is ready. Yes, Siraj did play in that T20I series against New Zealand, but the last thing you want is to see him in rhythm, and that is the reason he has been brought, given the wealth of experience he has. So I think ideally, assuming that if Bumrah doesn't play, if he is not available for tonight's match, I think Indian team management should straight away include Mohammad Siraj in his place. Means obviously, and the good thing for India is that you have matches against Namibia and Netherlands where you can try out. And see, the last thing you need is to lack of match practice, and I think that is a good thing for India to happen with someone like a Kuldeep Yadav or a Mohammad Siraj in this case, who I think would find it difficult to walk into the playing 11 because the wealth of experience and this team looks solid. Means when it comes to the playing 11, each and everyone they just walk into the playing 11. So I think it opens up a perfect opportunity for Mohammad Siraj if he does play in this game.
Ashok, from what I'm looking at in the broadcast, the visuals tell us that Jasprit Bumrah is moving around the field and sort of is on the field at this moment. Although it is being also said that it is unlikely that he will play. If he does not, how are you looking at the bowling combination?
I would say that it's a big decision to pick Siraj over let's say a Prasidh or some of the other options that India had. And yes, he's been out of the T20 squad for some time, but he's been playing the Ranji matches. And given the conditions that Devashi spoke about at this ground, also considering that in the first two or three matches, India has the luxury of trying out both Kuldeep and Siraj. I would say the Indian team is better giving him a chance to play this match and get some time under the lights, get himself a little bit familiar and get him ready for any eventuality in case India needs a replacement. I think this is a perfect situation for him to come in and get the momentum going, frankly.
Okay, first hat trick of the World Cup from Romario Shepherd. We also saw Shimron Hetmeyer batting up the order after a long, long time. Bharat, just a quick glance on this match as well.
Yeah, happy for Omar Shepherd is someone a couple of years ago. It looked like it felt at least felt as if he would get 30 of 10 balls, then he would give away 30 of 10 balls with a ball in hand. So it's come a long way from that time. is definitely improved. I think he's someone who gets a little bit of what can you say, old ball swing or contrast swing or whatever you want to say. A very tall man as well, though he has more of a round arm action, but he has a good surprise short ball. So I think that is good from West Indies' point of view, because he can be a very dangerous cricketer in the sense that he's a very very powerful hitter. We have seen that in the IPL. He's someone who can come in at any kind of situation, 120 for 7 or 120 for 8, and get 40 or 15 balls. And then that is contributing as well with the ball in hand now. I think that's a really good sign for a West Indies team, which now doesn't have Andre Russell and Kiran Pollard. Yes, Shimron Hetmeyer has been a very talented player ever since maybe the Under 19 World Cup in 2015-16, when he cracked an imposing 50 against Pakistan Under 19. He looked like a really talented player, but another of those West Indian cricketers who hasn't really fulfilled his potential somewhere, not just in T20 cricket across formats. I remember a test match where he absolutely smashed Saqib Al Hasan all over the park. That was about 8 years ago when he was still playing test cricket on a turning track. So he hasn't really fulfilled his potential. Even in T20 cricket, somewhere is perhaps not really been not really converted his promise into runs. So it's good to see that he has been given a role at somewhere at the top of the order at number three,
Yes.
and is doing well.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that the toss is underway. The two captains are out there in the middle, and so far the toss gods have been in favor of India. A few fun statistics here. India has a very good toss winning percentage post 2024. Call that Surya Kumar Yadav magic if you want, in T20Is, of course, not the other formats. As well, the other thing is the last 10 tosses that teams have won at the Wankhede Stadium, about 10 all 10 of them have chosen to field first, which is the most likely thing to happen on a wicket like this. But it seems like, and in just a minute we will find out who has won the toss. Or tell us, just a second. It is USA who have won the toss. So I
And
spoke to
they have decided to field first. So we
yes,
can very much expect India to post a huge total,
yep.
batting first. So that is all we want, means India to bat first and pose a huge total. Obviously, I would be looking to see which teams reaches the 300 mark in this tournament. So ideal opportunity given the form the batters are in. So let's see.
Ashok, at this point, you don't ever want to undermine any team in a in the T20I format, because anything could happen. But here, India very much the favorites. India fundamentally the strongest team in this World Cup and in this fixture as well. But USA, do you think there are a couple of threats or no? How are you looking at this fixture?
Look, if you look at the first two matches, I mean, the way Netherlands played, I think if Max O'Dowd had not dropped that catch, they would have been home and dry. If you look at Scotland, the way they played, against a total of 183 that West Indies made, they came close to it. I think it was lack of experience, not so much lack of talent, which did them in, and that holds true for Netherlands as well. My sense is that we will have a close competition in a format like the T20. You can see surprises. The UAE is not a bad team at all. If you look at records, look at what they did last edition of the T20 World Cup. They beat Pakistan. They came into the Super Eights. They have a bunch of players who've got a lot of experience. Whether it is Harmeet Singh, or it is Shubham Rajane, or even Saurabh Netravalkar. I think they've got enough talent, people from the South Asian community who are part of the team. I think there are about 11 of them in the squad. And, all of them have got exposure. They've all played outside of the US and have got exposure to conditions in the subcontinent, which is a very critical thing to do as well. And so I would not, dismiss them off completely. Having
Yeah.
said that, I think India batting first is exactly what I wanted to see. Chances, of course, if you ask me to do a prediction, I would say a 95-5, but don't write them up.
Predictions later. But yes, we have the team update as well. Bumrah is out, Washington Sundar is out, and Sanju Samson is out. And replacing Jasprit Bumrah is Mohammad Siraj, confirms Indian captain Surya Kumar Yadav. Devashi Sen, how are you looking at this game? What do you think? Let me start with the predictions now. What do you think when it comes to India posting a total? Do you think the 300 is in tow?
Yeah, why not? Means obviously, with all due respect to the USA side, I think given the kind of form the batters are in, someone like Abhishek Sharma, he can fancy his chances against this US attack in the far field. So if India can put something around 80 to 90 without losing too many wickets, and given the starts both Ishan Kishan and Abhishek Sharma have been given off late, I think very much they can fancy. And the template the Indian team is batting means obviously they are not bothered about losing too many wickets as well. Means, okay, and that is the only reason I fancy. Means obviously going out of my way and saying predicting that. I won't be surprised if India posts anything excess of 250 plus. And obviously that is what and that will be the perfect start for the T20 World Cup. Let's see because it is a cracking atmosphere, Gargi. The packed house here at the Wankhede, so let's see some power.
Bharat, I love that the Indian team is playing with such firepower that when you ask the question, do you think India can post a 300 total? The answer is, why not?
Yeah, that is where I actually thought that USA would win the toss and opt to bat first because if you look at even their pace department, yes, Khan is decent, but they don't have much pace in terms of as far as their bowling attack is concerned. So they can really come under pressure. Yes, India have the firepower, and if you look at the US attack, and if it turns out to be a flat pitch, then I think you could see a huge score. Actually, US's strength is in their batting, I believe. If you look at Monang, if you look at Jahangir, Ghosh, obviously Ranjane, they have three, four cricketers who can play decently. So I honestly thought that looking at the kind of firepower that India have in their batting from 1 to 6 or even 1 to 7, that USA would win the toss and opt to bat first. But that's brave for them, brave from them that they have decided to bowl. Let's see what will happen.
Ashok, how excited are you to watch Ishan and Abhishek open?
Oh, this is an absolute treat. I think this is going to be very, very exciting to wait and see. If you saw I would compare it with the under 19 finals against England, where at one point of time the the projected total looked like 602. I've never seen something like that, and I'm beginning to wonder whether that kind of a number will get scaled. I mean, of course, prorated for T20. But I think it's very, very exciting to see what both of these guys in the peak of their forms can actually do to opposition.
Absolutely. Let's start with the predictions now. Bharat, what are your predictions? How many runs will India put on the scoreboard?
Yeah, first I'll start with the percentage.
No, no, no.
96.7 to India and 3.83 for USA. Hopefully, I got it right, the percentage. This joking. Anyway, India batting first, and if it turns out to be a good pitch for batting at the Wankhede, a little bit of even bounce, maybe after the first 2 overs, then India can definitely go to score of 250, 260. But there is always a glitch that if everyone starts to think that India will get to the 260, 270 or whatever, then it could be 180 and 200 because when everyone expects something to happen, it doesn't usually work out that way. But logic says that India will get a very huge score on the board.
Ashok, your prediction? How many runs on the scoreboard?
I would say, 280 to 300 is what I would expect. I expect India to go big in this one. So I'm being bullish here. In terms of a prediction, I've already said 95-5. I think 5 is significant and shouldn't be undermined.
Debashish, finally over to you. Your prediction in percentage?
I would say 98 to 2. India overwhelmingly favorites. Means, with all due respect to USA, but I think the kind of cricket in Indian team has been playing of late that makes them overwhelmingly favourite. So I go with Ashokda. What Ashokda said, that I am also thinking that India will very much post in excess of 250 to 260 plus. And if it is 300, fingers crossed.
All right. And with that, it's time for us to take your leave
Your
and
percentage.
go my percentage.
I
And
know, I know
this,
you will.
I think
will
this is
take me to
the
court
one.
for again and again bringing a percentage somewhere.
I was trying to escape this. I was trying to escape it, but Bharat caught me. But I think this is a simple one. It's 95 and 5. I'm giving USA, as Ashok said, 5%. And that's also, I think, a bit of an overstatement here. At the same time, it's time for us to take our leave
Always
and enjoy
remember,
the great.
always remember. Just wanted to add one point. India don't
Yeah.
lose to associates in 50 or T20 World Cups. The last time I think they lost to an associate in any of the World Cups was perhaps against Sri Lanka in 1979. Then it was an associate. So India don't lose to associates.
Good stat. Great stat, that one. And India start off their T20 World Cup campaign. Of course, they're batting first after losing the toss, but Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan are waiting to set off some fireworks on that Wankhede pitch. We'll be back at the end of the game, so don't forget to join us then. Thank you so much, Debashish, Ashok, and Bharat. And to everyone who's watching, don't forget